lander that is going to land on the moon here in just a few years, and also very exciting. It's hydrogen powered. We developed being 20 Kelvin, very, very cold, 20 degrees above absolute zero, 20 Kelvin electric powered, solar powered cryocoolers, so that we can keep liquid hydrogen liquid and have it be a storable propellant in space. This is very hard to do. We already have made amazing progress on it, because hydrogen is the highest performing fuel for rocketry, for space travel, but it has this problem that it has to be kept so cold that historically hasn't been able to be used on deep space missions because it just boils away. So we're solving that problem, making hydrogen a storable fuel. We are doing R&D into how to build solar cells from lunar regolith on the surface of the moon. Because if you're going to go to the moon and stay on the moon, you need to be using the resources of the moon. You need to be harvesting the moon to make that cost effective.
So the moon will be a launch pad.
The moon is a gift from the universe. It's so close to Earth. It's only 3.5 days away. We can launch and get to the moon anytime. Unfortunately, to get to other planetary bodies, they have very rare launch windows. Mars, you can go to Mars once every 26 months or so. And so the moon is really a gift, and it has a very low gravitational field, only a sixth of Earth's, which means it takes about 30 times less energy to lift a kilogram of mass off the moon than it does to lift it off the Earth. So we can use the moon as a rocket fuel depot to go to the rest of the solar system. One of the things that's going to happen in the next, it's hard to know exactly when, it's 10 plus years, but I bet it's not more than 20 years. We're going to start building these giant gigawatt data centers in space. So these giant training clusters, those will be better built in space because we have solar power there 24/7. And the solar power there are no clouds and no rain, no weather. So you can build. We will be able to beat the cost of terrestrial data centers in space in the next couple of decades. And so space will end up being one of the places that keeps making Earth better. It already has happened with weather satellites. It's already happened with communication satellites. The next step is going to be data centers and then other kinds of manufacturing.
And will we be able to travel on Earth faster?
Yeah, I think so. Eventually, this is very challenging. It's kind of hypersonic travel on Earth.
Up and down.
The point-to-point ballistic travel. It doesn't break any laws of physics. It's difficult in some ways. Rockets tend to be very noisy, so people probably don't want them like in their downtown areas. So we'll have to figure out exactly how that works. But there may be other ways of doing hypersonic travel too. So I do think that will happen.
And living in space, when do you think we'll be living in space?
Well, I believe we'll have in the next kind of couple of decades, I believe there will be millions of people living in space. That's how fast this is going to accelerate. It's interesting too, because they'll mostly be living there because they want to. Our robotic technology is getting so good. We don't need people to live in space. Anything that we need done, if you need to do some work on the surface of the moon or anywhere else, we will be able to send robots to do that work, and that will be much more cost effective than sending humans.
And if you were to advise a movie or a book of sci-fi that's, in your view, more truth to what we expect, what would that be? And I'm asking because I know you love sci-fi, and
I love sci-fi.
That myself of seeing how you always read and see these movies and it never happens.
I've read so much science fiction, just starting in that little town in South Texas where I spent my summers with my grandfather. Someone had donated his science fiction collection to the local library, which is this town of only 3,000 people. And over the course of a few summers, I read my way through that, all the classics, Asimov and Heinlein and so on. Something that I would recommend is the Culture series. only because it has such an interesting utopian take on the intersection of humanity and artificial intelligence. And I think there's so much talk about that right now. Not that this is the way it's going to be or anything, but it's just a very interesting way to think about these super intelligences. We didn't have time to talk about that, but I find so many people nervous or anxious or even a little discouraged or depressed by thinking about these coming, right now computers can easily beat us at chess. Once they can beat us at anything, do we have meaning in our lives? I think the answer to that is 100% yes. We will still have meaning in our lives.